What's up, guys? This is Devadri Maramis. I'm going to be talking about the pie chart component in my After Effects template called Statistics. So let's get started. Alright, so this is the pie chart component. And I'm just going to go through what my workflow is. What I would do is edit and duplicate this pie chart, drag this thing out, and name it something else. So let's say January Review. So this is going to be the composition of my graph that I'm trying to make. So you have all these different layers over here, and I'll go through them one by one. Graph options basically has all the parameters to change how your graph looks. You can see what each parameter does by reading the manual that comes with statistics, or you can just hover over this marker and read what each one of these things does. You can also double-click the marker, and this layer marker window will pop up, and you can write in your own definitions if you don't like mine. So set the max value, and then hit OK. So if you hover over it, you'll be able to read your own definition. Alright, so first thing that I would do is how many slices would I want to have? Right now there's 5, and this is by default, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And if you look in the parameters, there's actually parameters called pie slice 1 enabled all the way up to pie slice 12 enabled. And each one of these slices corresponds to each one of these sections. So let's say right now there's 5, so 5 of these are checked. So let's say I want to have 4. I would just uncheck number 5. So now 4 are checked and 4 are shown. If I want 3, if I want 2, and then 1. And it goes the same way the other way around as well, if you want more. So I'm just going to keep it at 1 for now because I think having one slice is easy to show, easy to demonstrate what this is all about. So once that is done, you can go to Statistics layer, and you'll see some more parameters. And just like in the graph options, you can hover over these markers and it'll show you exactly what each one of these things does. Even though it looks like there's a lot, there's actually this whole section here is value 1 all the way to value 12. Each one of them, each one of the numbers corresponds to a pie slice. So value 1 is pie slice 1. Value 12 is pie slice 12. And the same with this set, which is animation. Animation 1 to animation 12. Animation 1 is pie slice 1. Animation 12 is pie slice 12. So right now we only have one slice, pie slice 1. The value right now is 20. So let's move this up to, let's say, 100. So now this is 100 and it fills up the entire circle. If you go back to graph options, you can see the max value is at 100, which is why the slice fills it up. Max value basically corresponds to the maximum value of the entire graph. So most pie charts that I've seen are usually percentage, which is why the default is 100. But let's say that you just surveyed 200 people, and you want to show that in a pie chart. So you can type in here 200 for the max value, hit enter, and you'll see that your slice automatically updates. If you go to statistics, you'll see that your pie slice is 100, the max value is 200, so it only fills up 50% of the pie slice, of the pie chart. So that's what max value does. You can also, move this up to 200, so it fills it up again. You can even move it down a bit to 50. So everything updates itself using statistics. So I'll just go through these other ones quite quickly because I think they're self-explanatory. Pie chart radius controls the radius of your pie chart. Pie chart base toggles on and off this base that I have over here. Pie chart base size add basically adds pixels or contracts it from the base. Pie chart base color is, pretty much what you'd expect, just a color picker. Pie slice 1 enabled all the way to pie slice 12 enabled, we've already covered. These are just enabling or disabling each pie slice. Pie slice 1 color to pie slice 12 color, that should be pretty straightforward as well. These are just color pickers for each slice. And then you have your segmented pie chart button at the end, which I'll get into later. So first thing that I would do, make sure I have as many slices as I want. In this case, just one slice. And the max value, I'll change this to 100. And let's change the statistics to 50. Because I like things being divisible by 2. So let's just assume that this is the graph that I want to make. So next we go into the statistics layer, and we start to animate. So you go to the animation 1 parameter, and each of these parameters, animation 1 to 12, correspond to each slice 1 to 12. So right now we're only using one slice. So we use animation 1. If animation 1 goes to 0, you'll see that the slice disappears. If it goes to 100, it will reach this value of value 1. So think of animation 1 as a percentage section. Think of all the animation section as percentages from 0 to 100. 0% would be nothing. 100% would be 100% of their value, so it would be 50 in this case. If I have 50%, that is half of value 1, which is 25. If I can even bring it even further to 200%, which would make it 100. Alright, hopefully that makes sense. So to animate, you click on the stopwatch next to the animation. You open up the timeline, the layer, and now you have this keyframe. Set the keyframe to 0, and then let's bring it to maybe half a second, and bring it up to 100. So now I have this slice that animates. So that's how you animate in statistics. So the next thing I want to do is bring in more slices. Go to Graph Options 1, add in your Slice 2, Slice 3, and then go back to the statistics layer and change the values to what you want them to be. So in this case, I'll make them like this. And now everything is how I want it to be, except these two slices don't animate. And they work the same way, where 100% is over here, 0% of slice 2 is at the bottom like that. And it's the exact same with slice 3. 100% is the full value of value 3, and then 0% is 0. So to animate, I do exactly the same as animation 1. Click, turn this to 0, bring it to the end of where I want it to be, make it 100, and now I have 2 slices animated. Now to do this third slice quickly, you can select your keyframes, go to Edit, Copy, and then select Animation 3, and Edit, Paste. Now you'll notice that if you hit U on the statistics layer, you'll see that your Animation 3 starts a bit later. The markers don't match. If you want them to match, you just select them both and then drag them back. So right now they all start at the same time. But let's say I want them to kind of stagger a bit. I want one to finish and then the other one starts. So once the first one finishes, I drag this second set out, and then that one starts. And then when that finishes, I drag this third set out. So now I have my pie chart fully animated. So once that's done, let's say it's February now, and we have a new set of data. February review. Open up your February comp, and now change the data for statistics. Click on the statistics layer, effects controls, and maybe this data would be a lot different. So now you have data that looks like this. Here's your next pie chart. So this is your January, and this is your February. And because you've already animated animation 1, 2, and 3, the animation stays preserved. So you don't have to do anything except just plug in your data. So just like that, I've already finished my second graph. Now let's do March. March review. Let's say in March, it's a bit different. We want to add some slices. So let's add one more slice. Slice 4, pie slice 4 enabled. It's in the graph options layer. You'll see that it doesn't quite update yet. It's because we haven't changed the data. So let's change the data. Statistics, look at value 1, 2, 3, and 4. Change these around, and now you can see how the pie slice 4 shows up. So now you can change your data like this. So there you go, pie slice 4. That's how you want it to look, but your animation doesn't quite show up. And that's because we haven't animated slice 4 yet. So now the easy way to do it, select the keyframes, go to animation 4, click. Animation 4 is pie slice 4, copy paste, and now you have 4 sets of keyframes, and they animate exactly how you expect them to be. Alright, so that's adding one more pie slice, and let's say for the final one, April review. Open it up. Let's say for this one, everything's the same except maybe instead of using 100%, we want to use something else. Like we've surveyed 25 people. 25 for the max value. Your pie chart automatically updates, but you need to change the statistics data for it to be accurate. So change your data. There you go. All of this adds up to 25. Make sure that all of these add up to the max value. And because we've already animated all slices, we just hit spacebar and everything's animated already. Just like that. So all your graphs look all different, and we completed them very, very quickly. Now for this one, let's change some of the colors. Let's customize it a bit. Go to the graph options and go to the pie slice color section and just, change whatever color that you feel like. All right, something like that, for instance. And then let's say for this base, let's say we don't want the base color gray, we want it white. So now we have a white base color. But maybe we change our mind again and we turn off the pie chart base and we make it smaller. So we did all those changes and the animation still stays preserved. So this is where statistics is really quite advanced, I would say, in terms of updating your graphs and quickly making graphs and things such as that, things like that. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to show is the parameter that we skipped over, which is the segmented pie chart. So I'll use a clean component pie chart, segmented. I've named it segmented pie chart. Go to the graph options, effect controls, and now turn on your segmented pie chart. Click, and now we'll see that our pie chart changed quite a bit. And to demonstrate what this does, go to your max value, see how the max value is 100, if you go to the statistics layer and change your first pie slice to 100, you'll see that the way that this works is the center is 0, and the outer radius is the maximum value that you put. In this case, 100. So now you can kind of move everything else the way that you want them to be. Something like that. And you can go back to your graph options, and basically everything else works exactly the same. Changing the max value changes everything in proportion. You can change your pie chart radius, making it larger or smaller, take out the base, turn it on. You know, everything works exactly the same. Changing the colors. The only thing that's different is the pie slice enabled. Right now, these slices, they're always in equal sections, equal spacing between them. So right now there's 5, which is the default. If you uncheck that, now you have 4, now you have 3, 2, 1. And you can go the other way around as well. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Alright, so then now you can go to your statistics layer and change your data to what you want them to be again. And now this works exactly the same as the pie chart. You go to your animation, hit the slider, turn it to 0, go to half a second or however long you want it to be, 100, and now that moves up to 100. So just like that, you've animated your pie chart, segmented pie chart. And let's say, you know, during the middle of your animation, some of your data is wrong and you need to take out some of the data. So you go to graph options, you disable some of these pie slices. So maybe instead of 12, now you only have 3. And the cool thing is, it still stays the same. Your animation is still preserved. You can go to your statistics layer, change this maybe to 50, and it still animates the same way. Alright, the final thing I'm going to show is what all the other layers are for. So now let's duplicate the original component again, drag it out, and I'll name this pie chart layered. Open it up. So now I'm in the pie chart layered composition. Basically, what this table control, in front graph layers, behind graph layers, and the pie chart base does, okay, basically the pie chart base is the same as the graph options pie chart base. So you can kind of add, subtract, you can do it all from within the graph options. So that's what the pie chart base is. Table control is pretty much all the elements of the pie chart are all connected to the table control. So the table control is a parent of every element. So you can use the position parameter to move the entire graph, left and right, up and down. You can scale it. You can rotate it. And just to illustrate something really quick, I'll change this animation to 0, to 100. So I have this animation. I can have it start at the top like this. I can rotate it so it starts at the side. And I can even reverse the graph so it starts differently. And the way I did that was using the scale, unchecking the chain, and then making it a negative number. Alright, now to go even further, you can uncheck this Shy Guy switch. And now you'll see all the layers that I used to create this pie chart component. So pie slice 1 is, of course, pie slice 1. You got 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 12. basically the reason why these layers are hidden is they inside the layer contains some very crucial code to make the whole package work. So I kind of hide it away because you don't really need to touch it. But for any intermediate or advanced After Effects users, you can kind of uncheck the shy layers, and you can kind of go into each one of these slices on your own. Something that you can do is you can go to your effects, add a ramp maybe to the first slice, change the color, red, purple. Slice 2, maybe you want to do something else to it. Maybe add like a Venetian blinds to it, something like that. Maybe that's how you like how it looks. Pie Slice 3, perhaps a drop shadow. Something like that. So you can do things like that. But yeah, for now, let's take this out. Venetian blinds. Ramp looks pretty cool, so I'll just keep that there. Shy them all away again. Alright, so that's what you can do to get some advanced effects going. You can also, you don't always have to animate using just these animation parameters. You can use pretty much anything with a stopwatch next to it can be animated. So let's say you want to animate this max value. You can change, you can hit the stopwatch, turn it to 0, and then move it up to 2 seconds. Make this 100. So now when you animate, this is how your pie graph looks. That's pretty cool. Another thing you can do is, let's say you want this purple to be a bit cooler. Kind of see where everything ends. Hit your stopwatch. Go back to the beginning, and let's just put this a different color. Let's say like a greenish yellow, like that. All right. Hit play, and now you'll see this layer slowly turn from green yellow to purple. So don't always feel constrained to using just these animation stopwatch parameters. You can use pretty much anything with a stopwatch. So once you're done creating your graph, now it's time to make your final comp. So this is a new composition. Name it Final Comp. In real life, this is what I always do. I have renders, and I have comps, and I'll drag the final comp into the renders. Everything else goes into my comps folder. Open up the final comp, and I'll pick a graph. I'll pick the January graph, and now you'll see that it still animates, but it's slightly big, and the reason why is because this January review graph is actually in HD, while this new composition is much smaller. So we can use this scale to scale everything down, position it wherever you want, and now you can kind of add in different solids, and this is how you would design your charts. Now I know a lot of people who use colored solids, but I don't know, I prefer to use more fills. I'm not sure if one way is better than the other, but I kind of like using as little layers as possible. So alright, yeah, so you take your time to create whatever pie chart that you want, and there you go. You can even turn this to 3D, add in a camera, so you can do kind of like a flyby thing going. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. All right, so hopefully you guys understand more about this. If there's any questions, just message me wherever you're viewing this. It's probably best wherever you bought the product, and I'll get back to you. So I'm going to go on and finish all the other tutorials because I know a lot of people have been waiting for them. And yeah, all right, stay tuned, guys. Thanks.